Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Allie and I am in the lovely Playa del Carmen. We are going to move through a short and sweet flow practice today to get into those hips. So join me and meet me in a wide knee child's pose. If that doesn't work for you, you are welcome to stay seated on your mat with a tall spine. So if you're joining me in a wide knee child's pose, you can bring your knees wide, sink your hips back to your heels. Let your forehead land on the floor, if that works, or stack your fists and place your forehead down there. If you're seated, just finding a tall spine, we're just getting grounded for a moment here as we sink into the practice, into the moment, starting to get aware of your breath. If you're in child's pose, you can walk your hands over to the right edge of your mat, starting to get a sweet little stretch into the left side of the body. And switch that up, take the other side. Bring it right back to center, press into your palms, rise through to hands and knees. You can draw your knees in a little closer. And let's take one cow pose, drop your belly down, peel your chest up, inhale. Cat pose to round your spine. As you exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Come back to a neutral spine and curl your toes underneath you. Let's lift your hips up and back to a downward facing dog. Pedal out your heels, bend one knee, bend the other as we stretch out the back body. Let's create a little bit of heat now and some strength in the center. Ripple it forward to a high plank, so top of a push-up. Your knees can be down to modify here as we hold for a moment. Press your hands down and apart, really strong from the core, the center. Take another breath in. Bring your knees down, lower all the way on your breath out, slow and steady. Cobra pose, just a little peel up with your chest here to lift the heart. Press through hands and knees to your downward facing dog as you exhale. Take a deep breath in. Let it go, breath out. Now let's extend the right leg back and up on your inhale. Slow and steady, bring your knee to your nose as you exhale. Round your spine like you did in that cat pose. Look to the top of the mat now as you inhale, step between your hands. Exhale, drop your back knee down to the mat. Hands come to your right thigh to start. You can stay here or extend the arms up to stretch the spine, softening into the hips, ground through the front big toe, pinky toe, and the heel. And bring your hands back down. Let's curl the back toes under now and lift the back knee into a little twist here. Your left hand stays, reach your right arm up, open up the chest. Try to get lighter in the left hand, maybe propping to the fingertips as you extend through that right arm. And look down to your mat, plant your right hand back down, three-legged dog, sweep your right leg back and up, inhale. Stay here, bend your right knee, roll the hip open as you exhale. Landing for a moment, hands are firm on the mat. You can stay or roll in some circles with your right knee. A couple of times one direction, and then a couple of times the other direction. Re-extend your leg back in front of you, look forward again, and bring your knee to your nose, round your spine. Pause here. This time we're coming into pigeon pose for the outer hip. Right knee lands behind your right wrist. Left toes toward your left wrist. You can stay upright here for a little bit more of an active shape. Or if it's calling to you to make it more passive, crawl your hands forward. Melt your heart towards the floor, the mat. Maybe even finding something to prop your forehead onto. I know this one is a toughie for me. I'm tighter in the outer hips, so you can always use a yoga block or a cushion and slide it under your right hip if you're feeling that today too. Just a couple of deep breaths as we allow our body to kind of melt into the shape. Now press into your hands. We'll stay low to the mat. If you do have a block, just slide that puppy out from underneath you. And we'll swing the left leg around so it comes on a diagonal. Your right foot is inside your left thigh. Left hand to the shin or hook onto the big toe. Reach your right arm up and stretch up and over to the left side. So we get this side stretch again. You could also bend your right elbow, place the hand behind your head, and gently guide your head back into your hand. Anchor your seat down. And let's rise it back up. Now look over your right shoulder. Plant your right hand for joy pose. You'll rise to your right shin, reach up with your left arm, a little heart opener as we stretch now the front of the hips again. Feels nice after that compression in the lunge. Coming back to a seat, plant your hands in front of you and make your way back up to a downward dog. Pedal out the heels, feeling that shift from one side. Let's get into the other side. Left leg lifts up and back. Inhale. Knee to nose, round your spine. Exhale. Stay here, look forward, top of the mat. Step between your hands, drop the back knee down. Hands move up to your top thigh, staying here, or extending your arms up, whatever works for you today, always modifying whenever you need to, however you need to. As you land here, feel a little more space across the chest and shoulders, still a little containment in the belly. Deep breaths. And bring your hands back down. Curl the back toes under. Lift your knee. So legs are fired up now. Take your twist. Reach your left arm up. Opening your chest to the left. Lighter in the bottom fingers if you can. Try drawing your left hip further back. And lifting your back heel a little higher. You look down to your mat, plant both hands down, three-legged dog, left leg back and up, inhale. Bend your knee, hip rolls open as you exhale. Again, you can stay or roll in circles, one direction, and then the other. Re-extend your leg back. Bring your knee to your nose, round your spine. Into pigeon pose, left knee to left wrist, toes to the right wrist. Lengthening up first, lift through the heart, and again, same options. You can stay here, or you could soften forward if that's what your body's craving today. If you're upright, you could always play with crawling the hands a little closer towards you. Just a couple of deep breaths. If you are a little more open in the hips today, you could scooch your front toes closer to the top of your mat. If you want to modify it a bit more, you could bring those toes a little closer toward you or toward your right hip. If you're hinged forward, press into your hands, peel your heart back up, and we'll swing the right leg around so it comes out to the side on a diagonal. Left foot to your right inner thigh. So right hand comes to your shin or your big toe. Rotating the heart open to the left, reach that arm up. And then bicep over the ear or bend your elbow, hand behind your head. Ground the seat down as you lengthen both sides of the body. Shoulders dropping away from your ears. All right, let's rise back up. Look over your left shoulder, plant that hand. Joy pose, press into your left shin. Reach your heart up, reach your hips up. Stretch your right arm overhead. And slowly bring your seat back down to the mat. Let's stay seated. Bring both feet down in front of you. Knees are bent. Extend your arms forward, and we're just going to take a nice, slow roll right down onto your back. Feeling the core light up again. So once you make your way onto your back, you can come into a reclined cobbler's pose or butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together, knees fall open. Maybe here placing your hands on your belly, or one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, just to center you into the moment a little more. As we ground the back of the body down and create that softening and opening across the front body, especially into the hips. And when you're ready, reach toward your outer knees. Slowly gather your legs back together like you're closing a book. Let's take one more shape here. Happy baby. Bend your knees, reach through the legs to catch your outer feet. A little rock and roll side to side. If you have the room, maybe you kick one leg out at a time for a little bonus hamstring stretch. And let's bring it right into your final Shavasana. From here, extend your legs out. Take a moment to set yourself up. If you want a little sweater or blanket or socks, grab those. Wrap your shoulder blades underneath you. Let the back of your hands land on the floor outside your mat. Feel the weight in your ankles and your pinky toes as they drop outward. Sink the back of the hips down. Feel a heaviness in the back of the head. Take a moment here just to observe in that short amount of time what has shifted. Physical sensations in the body. Maybe you notice any shift mentally or emotionally. And bring your awareness right back to your breath. Find gratitude for showing up to your mat today. And you are always welcome to stay here in this shape as long as you need. If you're coming up to finish off the practice with me in a seat, you can start to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Take any stretch that your body craves. And then maybe rolling through one side, take your time to rise back up to a seated position. Either cross-legged or back on your heels, whichever works best. And as you come into a tall seat, let your shoulders roll back and down one more time. I want to thank you for having the courage to show up today and find peace within. I'll see you next time. Namaste.